Every year, Cindy and I celebrate our anniversary by going on a trip. We've been to a lot of fun places. But there's one place that has always been on Cindy's bucket list: Switzerland. So that's where we decided to go this year. Going to Switzerland would probably be a once-in-a-lifetime experience for us. So I had to make sure everything was perfect. I researched locations, calculated the budget, and meticulously planned out every aspect of our itinerary. It was going to be the perfect November vacation. But after I bought the plane tickets, I stumbled upon this. We might have just screwed up our dream vacation by choosing the wrong date. But who knows? Maybe I'm just overreacting.
The biggest storm to hit Taiwan in nearly 30 years.
Taiwan is being hit by the biggest storm to strike the island in nearly 30 years.
The largest storm to hit Taiwan in nearly 3 decades made landfall along the island's east coast.
Yeah, our flight got delayed and kind of screwed up our itinerary. We're gonna miss the first night in Lauterbrunnen, which wouldn't have been so bad if the booking wasn't non-refundable. Now we've got to book another place so we could stay the night in Zurich. After a 5-hour layover in Dubai, we finally took off for Switzerland. We still got about 7 hours to go, which is kind of brutal, but it's not as bad as the 13 hours it takes to get to LA from Taipei. So this flight shouldn't be too bad. Except, mid-flight, a flight attendant notified me that my checked-in luggage was left in Dubai. They promised they'd send my luggage on the next flight, which is nice and all, but that still means I'll be without my clothes for 2 days. This is where I should be showing you a montage of us checking into our hotel, but as you can tell from my face, I'm not really in the mood. In the morning, I was feeling a lot better. I got to sleep in an actual bed, take a shower, and have a real meal after 24 hours of traveling. After a quick breakfast at the hotel, we took off for Lauterbrunnen. Although the weather wasn't the best, the view was still beautiful. So I took out my camera and yeah, not a good start. We checked into our room, took a short break to catch our breaths, then immediately headed for Grindelwald. The plan was Grindelwald, Kleine Scheidegg, Wengen, then back to Lauterbrunnen. But because we'd already lost several hours due to the flight delays, I had a feeling we wouldn't be able to complete the full itinerary. Originally, we wanted to visit Grindelwald first, an adventure park where you can go hiking, ziplining, ride a glider, or take a mountain cart ride down the mountain. But because they were closed for the season, we had to take it off the list. Instead, we went to Glacier Canyon Grindelwald. At Glacier Canyon Grindelwald, you can walk along a kilometer-long path through the Glacier Gorge. The 300-meter-high rock faces of the gorge were quite impressive. They reminded me a lot of Taroko Gorge in Taiwan. But there are a couple things here that set it apart from Taroko Gorge. The first is a steel mesh that spans a small section of the gorge. It's suspended over the river and you can go walking on it. It's actually not that high above the river, so it's not that scary. Alright, that's kind of fun. It's just that every time you take a step, the whole webbing bounces. I wasn't so worried about the height. I was more worried about tripping over and looking like an idiot. The second thing that sets it apart from Taroko Gorge is a 90-meter high canyon swing. It looked kind of fun, and I was considering doing it, but after thinking about falling into the gorge at 120 kilometers an hour, with my recent streak of bad luck, I chickened out. By the time we were done, it was starting to get kind of dark. Sadly, we wouldn't have had enough time to visit Kleine Scheidegg nor Wengen before the sun sets, so we headed back to Lauterbrunnen for a short stroll before calling it a day. I know it doesn't look that late on video, but in these small towns in Switzerland, the local shops close very early. The grocery store in Lauterbrunnen was closed by 5 or 5:30, so we had to take the train to Interlaken to find food and supplies. And that's pretty much how we spent the rest of the night. Very uneventful.